This is the Jocko Underground podcast, number 126, sitting with Echo Charles. And I was having a conversation with Greg the other day.
Greg Train.
Yes, with Greg Train.
Yeah.
We were talking about Chance. You know Chance Farrar?
Yes, I do.
Sick wrestler.
I'm a big fan.
Sick wrestler, MMA fighter, jiu-jitsu player, and just stud athlete.
Yuma, Arizona, by the way.
Awesome guy. And we were talking because we were training, and because of Greg Train. So we're going to be training.
Hell yeah.
And we were talking about how he's like Chance is just super fast, right? Just his speed. But he's smaller, right? I mean, what did he fight at? Maybe like 135, 145 or something like that. He might have even wrestled at a lesser weight than that.
Oh, for real.
So he's a lean dude, smaller weight guy. So we were just talking about how, he's just so fast, and set up and tap and this way you move, And so I was like, hey, I learned that when I go against someone like that, I can't react to every fake that's coming my way. Mm-hmm. I can't react to every movement that they make because it's too much movement. Yeah. And they will get me going in the wrong direction and get in on me. So what I have to do is I kind of just stand there. Obviously I get in a good stance, but I'm not reacting to every little thing that comes at me until they commit. And then when they commit, then I'll sprawl or whatever, react properly to an actual attack. So I was talking to a client the other day at Echelon Front, and he's kind of telling me these various stories, these various things that are happening with his boss. And how his boss was telling him to do this, and then like 3 days later he's telling him to do this other thing, and 3 days after that he's like making a suggestion, then he made a different suggestion that was the opposite direction. He'd tell him to focus on this thing and focus on the other thing and fix this thing, and you need to get all your people focused on this, and just all these different directions, move here, move there, fix this, fix that. And he's frustrated. The guy I'm talking to is very frustrated. And it's the same thing. Right? It's the same thing. And I had bosses like that in the military, that they're giving you direction to go one way, direction to go a different way, direction to go this way, fix this, change that. Like, it's constant guidance and direction in opposite directions. Yeah. And so what I learned was that just like wrestling with Chance, you can't react to every little change and every little adjustment that's taking place. I can't redirect my efforts and my focus only to have to redirect my efforts and my focus to another course a very short time after. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So you have to wait. You have to give things enough time to develop that the actual direction becomes very clear. And look, it doesn't mean gaff them off. It's not like if my boss says, hey, I want you to look at this. I'll be like, yeah, okay, boss. Doesn't mean I start investing a bunch of time. Hey, got it, boss. We'll take a look at it. Maybe I spend 3 minutes. I'm familiar with it. Cool. But I'm not pulling out the research. No, I'm not doing that. Or, hey, we need an estimate on this. Oh, okay. Got it, boss. Let's do a quick 2-minute estimate. Not, hey, let's break out all the numbers. No, we're not doing that. You have to wait until there's real commitment. Because now a week later, it's like, hey, did you come up with that estimate? Well, yeah, we took a look at it. I have a rough estimate for you. Okay. And maybe they go, okay, that looks good. Let's go deep. You see what I'm saying? So you can give a little bit, but you need to wait until the change becomes real. You need to wait until there's some kind of commitment. And this is how you can survive that kind of chaotic personality when you're interacting with someone. But it's not just at work that you have to do this. It's not just on the mats of justice that you need to do this. It's like you got friends that are like this. You got bosses, you got family members that are like this. And what you have to learn how to do is you have to kind of learn to, as weird as this sounds, slow your reactions down. Let things settle. Let things develop a little bit. Let's confirm the direction and the reality of the change before you step into it as well. And not only does it apply to people, it applies to the news and the social media and the algorithm and the trends and the chaos that's going on in the world. You can't react to everything that's happening. You have to let things breathe and let things develop. And this is the same thing on the battlefield. Like, there would be things happening on the battlefield. You get a report. Oh, this is what's going on. And you can react to it. I don't recommend it, though. Let's wait until we get some more confirmation. Let's wait until we hear some more information. Let's wait until this thing starts moving a little bit more and I can confirm what's going on. So just wanted to bring this up. Applies to many aspects of our lives. Don't overreact. Assess. Assessment is a good form of reaction, right? Oh, there's something going on? I'm going to watch it. Like, I'm going to assess it. Yeah. Make that your first step. Yeah. Not to react to it, but to assess it. Yeah. So you can find out if it's real. And then you move forward.
Yep. It's true. So the first thing strikes me with it, or that idea, that concept is with like ideas. So you're not going to pursue every little idea that pops into your head. Yep. Because if you do, then boom, your plate is full with a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Some of it's dumb.
Yeah. Let's face it. Sir. But you still handle it the same way where, yeah, if idea seems good, which they all kind of seem good at first, and they pass, like, if they pass the first filter, which is like usually the one that filters out 90% of them. Mm-hmm. But if they pass, it's kind of, okay, it still seems good. Assess it. Sleep on it, whatever your process is. And if it passes that second filter, it's kind of like, okay, and then you increase the likelihood of developing that particular idea. And, it's going to fit with the other stuff you're into and all this stuff or whatever. But it's the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, otherwise you just basically find yourself freaking playing whack-a-mole with a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Even with people. Like, how like your kids or whatever, I don't know, in my experience anyway with kids, like every little mistake they make, like we think, oh no, they shouldn't be doing that. Mm-hmm. Then we go, you ever heard of the idea? It's called the slippery slope fallacy. So the slippery slope argument and then the slippery slope fallacy.
Yes, obviously these are very common. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
definitely heard of it.
It's kind of like, oh yeah, if your kid stomps on a bee or kills like a beetle or something, kills it, oh, he's going to become a murderer. Because, a lot of murderers, they start with like animals and blah, 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 and they become murderers. So let's say he kills a beetle on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh my gosh, I got to put a stop to this because I don't need him becoming a murderer. That's the slippery slope fallacy, right? Because it doesn't automatically mean he's going to become a murderer.
Unless you beat him because he killed a beetle and then he becomes real crazy and starts becoming...
Yeah, I'm sure you have to do a lot of crazy stuff, and maybe even some genetic... I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but nonetheless... that's sort of kind of what you're dealing with. So like every little thing that he does doesn't mean it's going to turn into this big thing. Every little thing. Sometimes you just gotta, hey, let them see what it turns into. Even if they're making like little mistakes, it's like, hey, let them.
Yeah,
they might just learn from that little mistake right then and there. Don't be jumping on. What do you call it? Helicopter parenting necessarily.
Have you heard of snowplow parenting?
That sounds familiar.
Well, you're not just hovering over and watching. You're a snowplow out in front of getting all the obstacles out. That is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to jockounderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms so we are not subject to their control. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us, strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's jockounderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@jockounderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.